time they shine your light in the sky, don't go to it. The bat is dead. Bury it. Consider this mercy.
Tell me. Do you bleed? You will.
And welcome to another watch along for another anime movie. And I have my special guest, Mr. Zod Ryder. How are you, Zod?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. How are you, Qatar?
Yeah, doing great this morning slash evening, your time.
Yeah,
And
what time is it now for you?
it's 10:09 a.m.
Oh, okay.
here
It's
on
morning
the
time.
21st.
What's up, Sin Havoc? I see Sin Havoc is
So,
in the chat.
yeah, Sin Havoc is here. Kapow. Nice. And we'll be doing the Fist of the North Star, the 1986 movie. Uh, I don't remember ever watching this animated movie when I was younger, way back when. I remember the live version of Fist of the North Star with Gary Daniels. And
Oh, okay.
man, it was
Okay,
a bit.
are we watching it English dubbed or we're watching it subtitled?
I'm watching it. We'll be watching it English dub.
Okay.
So you have your movie, right? I
Yes.
have my okay. So without further ado, let's start playing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Some guy named Sin Havoc from Sin.
He's
And
there.
here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Yes.
This is the yin and yang. Yeah.
Yes.
This is the fist of the North Star telling the balance of the universe. I feel like this is Mad Max anime.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
a post-apocalyptic setting. So, what was your reaction when you first watched this uh, movie?
I first saw this movie when I was 8 years old, and it is it's my favorite movie of all time.
Nice. This is an awesome martial art film.
I became like a big, huge fan of the franchise. I mean, I collect the video games, the
Mhm.
manga, you know,
Right.
the anime TV series, the series, all of the all the video releases. I'm a huge fan. This is like uh, probably my one of my, if not my most favorite like franchise ever. I'm all, anytime anything comes out with it, I'm like drawn to it automatically because it's always been, so I've always been such a huge fan. It's insane. Ever since I first saw this when I was 8 years old.
Man, that's great. I watch episodes 1 to 17. I haven't finished it, and I've been watching it for
Oh, you got a
years.
long way to go. Yeah, you have a long way to go. There's 152 episodes, so you have a
Yeah,
long way
I
to
have a
go
long way to
for the
go.
series. But the series is a lot more fleshed out than this movie. See, the idea
Mhm.
behind this movie was um, there was actually going to be more movies.
No, I
This was
see.
going to this was going to like be like a retell. This is like a retelling of like the first couple of story arcs
Okay.
in the anime and the manga, and then they were going to continue and do some more movies. But this movie got a lot of backlash from parents when it hit theaters in Japan in 1986.
Hmm. I see. Blood and
And I
gore.
never could understand why, but why I never could understand why, because it's so over the top. It's not like it's,
Yeah,
like the gore and the blood and all that. It's all realistic, and no, it's
and
ridiculous.
it's
It's meant to
anime,
be
man.
funny and cartoonish. It's
Yes,
not really it's not really like, it's not like serious blood and gore. So I'm really kind of, it's disappointing, that uh
they haven't made a revival of this anime,
well
right?
they did make revivals of certain arcs of the anime, and they did a bunch of movies. I think it was, I want to say, let's see, there was the I think there's four, if I'm not mistaken. I think there were four movie releases, six, because there were two OVAs. There was a Toki OVA
Mm,
and a Yuria OVA that they put out. And then, this was in 2006. They did kind of a
I
revival. So it's very much, it just covers those arcs. And it just recently got a home video release in North America. I don't know if it ever got a release in the Philippines. I'm not sure, but
no.
I know that they got
I
released here because I have them all.
Hey, it's the Curly Ray. Hey,
Hey, the Curly Ray.
yeah. What's up, Sin
This is
Havoc?
so good. I think there's a reason why they never redubbed this movie, because for a lot of re-releases for older anime, they tend to redub them with newer actors. I think there's a reason why they
Yeah.
never redubbed this one, because the dub is just so classic and everybody remembers it, and it's just so good. It's like you can't get away with not, because they redubbed Vampire Hunter D, and it ticked me off so much that I added back the original dub from
Dub.
the from
Okay.
the from the DVD. I dubbed it in. I ripped the Blu-ray, and then I added the the English track that I remember. But this is really great, the way that they've kept this intact.
So I forgot the actor who played Shin in the live version because
Wasn't
that
that
was
Constance
I
Mandalore or something who played him in the live action? I think that's
I
who it
for
was.
yeah. I saw a couple of what do we call that, knockoffs of the DVD, the North Fist of the North Star DVDs in Chinatown here in the Philippines.
Yeah, there's a lot of bootlegs. I've collected several over the years. There's a lot of bootlegs. Got an entire box set that's bootlegs.
The
It's
first
it's
DVD,
interesting.
my first DVD for Fist of the North Star was a bootleg version of the series, but I kind of threw it away when my DVD player was electrified.
Oh, okay. This never gets old.
Yeah, this is so cool. This reminds me of another anime. The style is the same. It's you remember Berserk?
Yeah, well, yeah, Berserk is heavily inspired from Fist of the North Star.
Yeah.
Because this was Brunson and Hara, and
Hmm.
they inspired Mora to go and to do Berserk, and yeah, it's you see a lot of Fist of the North Star in Berserk. You see a lot of like, you know, same types of character designs and things like that. Well, very similar character designs.
So currently, no one is designing anime like this anymore because my son
Well,
watches
there is a
so much
revival coming out.
anime.
There is a revival coming out. There's a revival coming out. They're doing one. They're doing an anniversary revival where they're going to. From what I hear, it's a remake of
Hmm.
the original anime, but it's going to more closely follow the manga with less
I
filler
see.
and more just straight following the manga. So
Mm.
because the manga is better. The manga is better than the anime. The manga is better than this movie. The manga is just it's just pure perfection on earth. I feel like there is nothing better than the manga for Fist of the North Star. But the thing is that they've never fully adapted it into animation. Even the TV series that they did, the animated series that they did wasn't
Wasn't complete.
fully, yeah, it wasn't
Fully complete.
completed. But what they're doing now, from what I hear, is going to attempt to tell the whole thing. So hopefully that
Mm.
happens. I mean,
Hopefully.
it was announced. I think it was announced last year that it was happening, and there hasn't really been much information regarding it since its announcement. So
No. Well, I do hope it gets made, and I'm excited and eager to watch it once it comes out.
yeah, definitely, it's one of those things that I'll be all in. I'm so excited at the possibility of it being done like that and adapting the entire manga. That would be amazing.
Yes. Hmm. So the cast for the live version of Fist of the North Star was Gary Daniels as Ken Shiro, Costas Mandylor as Lord Shin,
Yeah,
Chris Penn
Constance
as
Mandalore.
Jackal,
Yeah,
and Isako Washio as Julia. I remember watching this on VHS, the live version, because those were the years during the 90s that they gave us Guyver, They gave us Fist of the North Star.
I was actually
Oh,
surprised that they went and did that movie, the live action, because the problem was that the director uh, wasn't really a fan, didn't
into
really know anything about it, and kind of just made the movie. And like,
Tony Randall was the
yeah,
director.
Tony Randall was the director, and I mean, I remember talking to him about it. I had a conversation with him on Facebook about how he chose to depict Shin in the movie as the main antagonist rather than, building off of the mythology and going with, Rao as the main
Villain.
villain.
Yeah.
And he sort of like kind of danced around it and said that, he really didn't know a whole lot about the mythology. He admitted to not really knowing a lot. And he actually told me, he said, if I would have seen the animated series or read the manga before I made the movie, he said he would have made a lot different of a movie. It would have been a lot different. So that's how I know, like, it's like, it's a shame that he just, because so he based everything that he knew off of Fist of the North Star off of the movie we're watching right now.
Oh, no. So he used the anime as basis. Man, that's so this is the guy, Jackal. You have a Jackal character in One Punch Man.
Yes, I do. I have the Jackal in One Punch Dan. Yes,
It's gonna be
he
cool,
is.
man.
It's gonna be a good movie. I think it's gonna surprise a lot of people.
Mhm. It's a rather a good tribute to our friend Mikey Sutton, who did the character designs for Dreamwalker, the same way you did the character basis for One Punch Dan.
Yeah, I took a very similar approach to the way Mikey approached the characters. Because I was going with people that I knew, friends and family that so that I could base all my characters off of that. Like you and I, we play doctors in the One Punch Dan movie, so
Yeah,
that's that those are our characters. So since you and I, so it's so funny, you and I actually have a lot of scenes together. You and me
yeah,
as a team working together. Um,
that'll be cool.
but yeah, so it's a real cool dynamic. We're like the two doctors trying to figure out what's going on with One Punch Dan.
So timestamp is 16 minutes and 11 seconds. This is an awesome martial arts film. Even the backgrounds, the sifus, and the rivalry. My kung fu is better than your kung fu.
It's my dream to make this movie someday.
Okay, Sin sent the article about Fist of the North Star anniversary. Uh, check the chats, both of you. Yes. I need to check the chats.
Yep, that's it. That's it, Sin Havoc. That was an article where they announced the revival for the animated series, and there's really been very little information that's come out since. And it's unfortunate that it's coming out of Warner Brothers, but it's Warner Brothers Japan, so maybe.
Maybe it's gonna be a bit better. Uh, did you watch Suicide Squad Isekai? That's Warner Brothers Japan. It's a 10 episode s- series for, I don't know if it's season 1, but it's good. I watched the Japanese dub series over some spare time, and it's a weird anime, much like every isekai anime series I watch. Yep. Thanks a lot, Sin, for sending uh, the link. So they're fighting for who is worthy for the title of Fist of the North Star.
Right, there should only be one successor of Hokuto Shinken or the Fist of the North Star per generation. But unfortunately, there were multiple there's multiple brothers who are, who have this ability. So it's sort of, so now it's up to them to kind of fight it out to decide who can become successor.
Mhm.
And, Ryakin has to choose who's successor, and and it comes down to Toki and Kenshiro, but Toki is really, really sick,
Mhm.
and so he passes down the successorship to Kenshiro, and then the other brothers Rao and Jaggy are essentially, Jaggy's upset. Rao doesn't care because he knows he's more powerful than Kenshiro anyway. So it's sort of, so it's this ongoing sibling rivalry, so to speak, adopted sibling rivalry amongst these brothers with the same adopted father to, vie for the successorship of Hokuto Shinken, which ironically, Kenshiro really, doesn't really, he didn't expect to become successor. It was, he expected Toki to become successor, but yeah. But there's no mention of Toki in this movie because this movie condenses everything, and there's no mention of Toki. They drastically changed the whole arc, the whole story. I mean, they change a lot. I mean, they change Ray. They change a lot of arcs for this movie to make it condensed and to make it more cinematic.
Yeah.
Really, to make it more condensed because it's very cinematic and dramatic in the manga and the anime.
And the anime series.
The anime series gets a lot right. It really does.
Yeah. Man. This is total Mad Max, the Road Warrior.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The artwork is so cool, so detailed. Even the wreck building.
Yeah, even by today's standards, I think the animation is great. There's a lot to be said about hand drawn animation, even today. So it still holds up.
Sin Havoc said they have a Fist of the North Star video game for PS4.
Yeah, that's the Lost Paradise video game, and it's really good, but it's almost like it's like an alternate timeline kind of thing. It takes liberties and tells its own story. It takes liberties. It's the same story, but it's different. Like it's again a scenario but it's like I say, it's kind of like an alternate universe. It's like an alternate timeline. Because there's a lot of that. Because if you're a fan of this stuff, you'll recognize a lot of the characters, but then you'll notice some differences and some liberties they took. As for the PC, you can emulate the the PlayStation 3, the SAL version, Fist of the North Star, Ken's Rage, and Ken's Rage 2. You can emulate those on your PC, and they look really good. Sin Havoc emulated.
Yeah.
But as far as the PS4 game, that only came out for PS4. That was an exclusive for PS4. I don't even think that came out on Xbox.
So a lot of people are still enjoying the Fist of the North Star.
Yeah, it's very popular all around the world. It's way more popular around the world, particularly in Europe, than it is in the United States.
Man, this is what the hell? This is Ken Shiro.
Yes.
I thought it was a golem. Emulate, you say? Come on, Sin. I need to get started.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's never. I you know what? I wish there was like PC, like a native PC version of any of the Fist of the North Star games. That would be really cool. Um, but as far as I know, the only Fist of the North Star games that have been officially native to the PC have been typing games that came out several decades ago. I think the last typing game came out in like 2000, 2003, something like that. And the typing games are fun as hell, but you can't really, they're difficult to play on modern PCs. Um, you know, but they are fun. That's how much of a fan that I am of this. I had all those typing games. I had them, and yeah, they were fun. You would basically fight by typing. You'd have fights with characters, and there'd be animations, and there'd be blood and gore, and it would be really over the top, just like what we're watching.
Yeah. Whoa. They blurred that blood splatter.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is the story
American
goes
version.
that the uncut, unedited version of the movie was lost in a fire in the
Oh.
toy vault or something, and they've never been able to find it. That's why they haven't released an uncut, unedited version without all the blurring and stuff. Because they added the blurring to the home video releases because of the controversy that came from the theatrical screenings when the Japanese parents were outraged.
If the Japanese parents were outraged, I wonder what the American parents feel about all this.
Well, yeah, it never got a theatrical release in the United States, at least not during its theatrical run. It had, it's played in a few small venues. It's had a few like midnight movie kind of showings, that kind of thing across the United States. And it's even rumored that in one of those screenings that somebody actually had an uncut print of the movie, but it's just a rumor.
Oh,
So I don't know if it's
it's
true because I wasn't there, so I don't know. I didn't watch it. I do have a cut of the movie that was where a guy basically went in and removed all the blurring and then upscaled it into 4K using AI,
uh-huh.
and it looks really good. I mean, it looks fantastic. I'm actually thinking that if they were going to re-release this for the 50th anniversary and they can't find the official uncut print, they should probably go to this guy and find out how he did what he did and kind of do that, because it looks pretty good. I mean, they got rid of the blurring, and so it looks more like how it was originally supposed to have looked. But it's subtitled and all that, but it's good. It looks good. That's how I like to watch it when I go back to it now. I watch it like that. And the blood's a lot redder.
Yeah.
Whereas on this particular print, it's like the blood is the
Pinkish.
blood is a little more on the pinkish
Yeah.
side, yeah, than the red.
It's pinkish. Man. Without the hood, he looks like uh 1 inch punch. White blood. Where There's a blood splatter.
Yeah, yeah. They use a lot of white. They also use a lot of white in the anime TV show. They but yeah, all this is very very red in the upscaled version that the guy did. It was really well done. I have to say I was very impressed, especially because I've always wanted to see what an uncut print would actually look like.
That's strength. He targets the pressure points. Oh, Sin said, one inch punch should be a special attack from One Punch Dan. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's there's a lot of Fist of the North Star references in One Punch Dan. You will, if you know the Fist of the North, if you know Fist of the North Star at all, you will see quite a few references to Fist of the
Yeah.
North Star in this.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Because One Punch Dan himself, he has a lot of, strange things that he can do that he didn't realize he could do, and sort of that kind of thing.
This is total Zen.
Absolutely.
Hey, Sergeant Giratinus. How are you? What's up? And she talk. Ha! That was quick.
It's nice now because now we're about to get the introduction of Ray, which is really good.
Hmm. This is Ray.
Yes.
Oh. I thought she was a girl.
It's very And what I love about the movie version, this version here, and the English dub version, is it's very noirish and reminds me of, like, just those old time, like movies like that. It has a very classic quality to it. Really, something that you don't see a lot of now.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of this kind of style anymore, especially
No.
with the new anime series.
Yeah, I'm not sure what direction they're going to go in with that. With the new show, like I said, I hope, from what I'd heard, the rumor is they're going to follow the manga, and that makes me happy as a big manga fan. But because I have almost the entire manga, it's currently being published right now. That's the entire manga right there as of right now. That's all the volumes that are available on
Nice.
the
Whoa.
in the US. They're all hardcovers, and they have and as you can see, it makes the Big Dipper, makes the seventh, it makes the star of it makes the
Yeah,
star,
the North
Tokyo, the
Star.
Big Dipper. Yeah,
Yeah,
the North Star.
nice.
So it really is, and then up a little higher, I have all the Fist of the North Star. I don't know if you can really see it, but I've got all the Fist of the North Star, all the Fist of the North Star, all the Fist of the North Star home video releases and video games and all that, all on one shelf. It's my Fist of the North Star collection. I'm very Fist of the North Star. That's the reality. The whole
That's
thing
awesome.
is,
So
I've even got the PS3 game in box, the treasure box edition that came with an alarm clock, an art book, a soundtrack, all kinds of things. And I got that on the shelf up there, and that's from, like, I think that came out, I think that was released in like 2008, 2009, something like that.
awesome
But yeah, my
collection,
Fist of the
man.
North, my Fist of the North Star collection is just, it's insane. It's like all that stuff. But yeah,
Shit. Sin Havoc says that's dedication, Zod.
oh yeah, I'm definitely dedicated.
Damn, slice and dice using fingers. Man, there's Ken. The fact that they do karate cries a la Bruce Lee is so cool. That's
Oh
so
yeah,
dope.
yeah. It's definitely great. Big. That's the other thing too. I'm a big Bruce Lee fan as well. So, like, Fist of the North Star just kind of like fits right in with all of that. It's
Bruce
like
Lee's movies.
Bruce Lee is the 70s. Fist of the North Star is the 80s.
Yeah.
As the 80s and 90s. Sort of, because with Fist of the North Star, you get a lot of stuff that's just. They even did another anime series. I don't know if you know about this series, but back in, I believe it was 2006, the same time these revivals came out, there
Mhm,
was
yeah.
an animated series that went for one season that was based off of Rao, and it was called Legend of the Dark King, and it told it was called a Fist of the North Star story, and it told the story from Rao's perspective,
That's
and
a
it's 13
12
episodes, and it
episode.
kind of just
13 episode. Yeah.
12 or 13 episodes. Yeah, it's really good.
We, c-
It was
we can
well done. It was
do
well
a
done.
watch along for
As
that.
a fan, I'm
If
excited. Oh, we can if you'd like. I mean, I'm.
yeah,
Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Hold on.
this is Rao.
Yes, Rao.
Yeah, Rao.
Rao the Conqueror. Rao the Conqueror. Okay.
Shit. This is
Okay.
how brothers settle their differences.
Yeah, he's horrible. All right, these are the revivals that I was telling you about. This was the first release. This is the legend of the true savior legend. This is about Rao, so this kind of follows that whole thing, and it's done in a very cinematic way. This got released in theaters in Japan. It's very, very good. Okay, and this was just released recently here in the U.S. We finally got it official. So this is an official release from Discotech. It has the same artwork outside of the slipcover, and then it has some unique artwork on the disc there, similar to the
Looks so
and
looks dope, man.
Discotech did this, and yeah, it's much more modern, animation. So there's that one. Okay, and then this was the second release, which is actually two different stories. This is the Legend of Yuria and the Legend of Toki, and this is actually quite. These are quite good. These were OVA releases, but they're in the same. They're in the same continuity as the first one, so it's considered. So it's definitely. This one deals. This next one deals with Rao. This one is actually. Jeez. This one is the legend. This one is actually the Legend of Rao. So this is the second to the last one. And then I have this one here that I got digitally. So I never opened my physical copy of this yet. This is the Legend of Kenshiro, and this is the final disc in that series. And it tells a very it tells kind of like a prequel story leading into the events of this movie, or the early events of the anime or the manga. And it's very good because it's kind of a sequel and a prequel at the same time, because it starts out at the very end of the manga, and then it's telling a story from before the manga started. It's really great. It's a really good. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend all of these. These are all very, very good. If you're a fan of
all
this
those OVAs and in the streaming I use, it's all there, which is so awesome.
I think every single one of these are on YouTube. I think there's a guy on
Mm,
YouTube who uploaded all of them dubbed in English, so you can watch
I have
all of
to
them
check.
on YouTube for free,
Yeah, I could
and they're all
I
good.
could
They're all good.
check
They're
that
excellent.
out.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Those would be good ones to do. To do watch parties on as well. If you're a fan of, if you're a fan of those of Fist of the North Star.
Mm. Mm. Ooh, rapid kick. And man, blood and gore.
Yeah, but again, it's over the top blood and gore. It's not like,
Yeah,
you can't, when you see something like that, you can't take it seriously. So that's why I don't understand like the outrage, because it's not like cartoons were not bloody and violent in Japan during that time
yeah,
period. They
yeah.
were. All the anime from their 80s was bloody, gory, violent, all that stuff. So I'm not quite understanding why Fist of the North Star was such a big deal. I mean,
They had
maybe because
remember
it got a theatrical release. That could be
I
why.
probably
Because a lot of that stuff
rem-
is either on TV or goes direct to video.
direct to
Or
video.
back then there really wasn't no directed video. So if you didn't see it on TV, well, there was, but it wasn't as big as it became. But yeah, I would have loved it. I'd love to go back in time and watch it in the theater in Japan. I really would. I think that'd be fun to
That'd
see
be
it
fun, man.
see it in theater. Yeah, man.
Mm. A lot of Japanese anime was real violent. Remember Wicked City? Uh,
Oh yeah, Wicked
remember
City. We had we Vampire Hunter D was
Vampire Hunter
also.
D. The two versions of Vampire Hunter D. The one is the newer one,
Oh
and
yeah,
the
the newer
original
one from 2000, Bloodlust.
Bloodlust. Yeah, Bloodlust. Then there's what else? Akira.
Akira really, Akira changed movies forever though. That's the thing. Akira is a
Yeah.
landmark in in animation history. So it's sort of, I remember I used to have an original sealed VHS copy of Fist of the North Star. I don't know what happened to it, but it was awesome. It had Ken and Yuria or Julia, whatever on the cover, and on the
Mhm.
back it said a post-apocalyptic splatterfest in an Akira vein. That's what it said on the back to describe what Fist of the North Star was.
An Akira
It's such
vein.
a
Well, then there's Ninja Scroll.
Ninja Scroll,
Awesome
yeah. Ninja
anime.
Scroll came a little bit. Ninja Scroll came a little bit later, and then you also had,
Yeah.
But I mean, you had Urotsukidoji in 1989, and
Mhm.
Urotsukidoji is, had all the tentacles and was violent and
Yeah.
depicted all types of sexual
Those
depravities and
tentacles.
various things going on. So I don't understand. Again, I don't understand.
They, uh,
Fist of the North Star being as controversial as it was. I honestly think the only reason it was so controversial to parents is because it got a theatrical release. If it would have went straight to video without any stuff, I don't think it would have ruffled any feathers whatsoever.
yeah. That
because
was
I could just imagine seeing in this in the big screen on the big screen uncensored. I mean, that'd be awesome.
yeah, that's awesome.
I would love to talk to somebody that actually got to see it like that
Yeah.
theatrically. I'd love to know what that experience was like because
Oh, that's a one punch experience.
I'm trying to decide if I want to have. I'm kind of having a hard time rendering One Punch Dan doing the 100 crack Fist of the North Star. I'm trying to get it to a certain where I can have that in there as like a Fist of the North Star reference, but I don't know.
That will look very intense. Zod.
Yeah, especially in live action, it'll look very intense, and because even the live action Fist of the North Star movie didn't really do a
Yeah.
lot of the moves justice. It didn't really, I mean, because again, the director didn't really know what he was doing, so it didn't really. But I, if you were to do a Fist of the North Star movie in live action now, it could be done. And I'm actually surprised
Yeah.
they haven't tried to do it in Japan and just do it in Japan as a TV show for Netflix and just have it live action. And then they could cover the whole story and they could really do it right.
Yeah. They could do the blood splatter like what Zack Snyder did in the Rebel Moon director's cuts.
Oh yeah, it would have a very, but again, Fist of the North Star it would be over the top. It wouldn't look realistic, but it wouldn't have to look realistic. They could do it in a way where it was convincing if you're a fan of that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Scumbag.
Yeah. Look at the eyebrow, man. That's
I love the eyebrows. The eyebrows are alive.
yeah. This is probably where the Dragon Ball franchise got their chi transformations. He's smoking, man. Definitely smoking. Somehow, I think that real martial artist can do all this stuff at one point or another.
I mean, you literally have Ken walking through buildings. I mean, literally walking through buildings and having the brick and mortar
Over the
just dripping off of his body. It's incredible. Like that's what I mean.
yeah,
I don't know how you could take it serious in that way to say, "Oh, it's too violent for kids," but it's not real at all on any stretch. Like the human body just doesn't do these kinds of things. Look at him literally trying to hold his brain in place.
yeah.
I mean, how is he even able to? It's just wow. It's
How
just
good?
insane.
How could he able to hold his brain together?
Long enough to keep
Boom.
talking.
Yeah,
And not only does he keep talking, he keeps talking coherently too, and he knows what he's saying. It's like wow, that's what I mean. And so you're taking it, and like look at the way Ray is cutting these guys up. So is
yeah.
that I mean, is that realistic
It's
violence to you? No, it's not real in
it's
by any stretch.
it's an engineering feat for Ray to do that.
Yeah,
It's
it defies the
precise,
laws of physics. Very
yeah,
precise.
very
Like imagine
precise.
how your hand would almost have to be would have to literally be knife sharp to be able to do what Ray was just doing right now. There's no way that you could humanly do that unless your hand literally was a knife. That's why I think doing it in live action would be very interesting. Doing it in live action now. I'm not talking about the way that you know
They did.
Tony Randall did it. I'm talking about like if there were to be a live action version of it now, you could probably really depict all these realistic these ridiculous things very awesome.
I think they're going to have a very difficult time doing a live version now because we all know that Halloween is so woke and doesn't
Well,
like.
you know what? That's why I'm saying it. This is one of my dream projects. So maybe after One Punch Dan and a couple other projects, maybe I'll put Fist of the North Star on my list of things to do because
Nice.
I just think it. I just think it
That's
could be. I just think it could be done. It could be done, and it could be done tastefully and faithfully.
Bishop said that you have a project with him coming soon. That will be
Yeah, I have an
something to.
animated project I'm working on with Bishop that I will be uh, fully working on once One Punch Dan is finished.
Nice, nice. That's that will be cool, man. I saw one of the designs of Bishop
Yeah, it's
in
a
his
it's a
drawing
it's
book.
a yeah, it's a faith-based
Yeah,
animation.
he even heals the blind. Nice. Timestamp is 1 hour, 1 minute, and 8 seconds before. Still have a lot to go, a lot of time. So that arc is finished, right?
Which one?
So who's this king-like
Well,
figure?
this is
One of
Rao.
those.
Yeah, this is
That's
Rao.
Rao. Mhm. Man, it's like this is the first time I saw these characters as a whole. I told you I only have about how many episodes in. Still a long way for Fist of the North Star. I made a list of all the anime I watch, uh, sort of like to just mark what episode I watched, blah blah blah, and it's been so long. I haven't
Oh,
really finished everything. Although the ones in Netflix, I already finished those animes, and some from
well, like you said,
other.
you haven't gotten far from Fist of the North Star. You're only
Yeah,
what
yeah,
17 episodes in, so
yeah,
that's you got a
17.
long way to go. I've finished Fist of the North Star so many times. I've rewatched it all the way through. I'm probably on my maybe my 13th or 14th viewing of the entire series, and
Man, that's
I'm done. I've
dedication.
kind of stretched, but I stretch it out though. Like I'll watch, I'll go through phases where I'm going through something
Mhm.
in my life, and I'll end up watching like in like a matter of a week, I'll have like gotten through like 20 25 episodes or something, and then
Yeah, that's
I'll
cool.
stop, and then I'll go back to it, stop, go back to it. But I know the series so well that it's, for me, it's like it's just one of those things where I'll always go back to it. It'll always it's an old favorite of mine, so I'll always go back to it.
So another old anime that's quite popular here in the Philippines is Flame of Recca. It's something we've been watching since we were younger. Plus Yu Yu Hakusho, which is entitled Ghost Fighter here.
Oh, okay.
It's when we were when we joined this taekwondo type of tournament, we were playing around with all those moves from the animes.
That's cool. Yes, Ken is very dedicated. He must get Julia back. Julia.
You really love. So we're
She's
gonna see
Yuri.
Shin
She's Yuria in the original. I have no idea why they
Yuria
changed her name to from Yuria
Julia.
to Julia. That's just like I don't understand the necessity of that. There was no need to do that. But I mean, I understand they're trying to
Yuria
make it
is
appeal to more. Yeah, she's so. I mean, that's
they
fine.
change it. They changed it when they did the English dub to Julia. Yuria is still her Japanese name.
Yes, yeah, she's still Yuria in Japan. But if you watch this, she's Julia, and they just totally.
Had a different
They
feel.
omit so they omit so many aspects of the mythology that if I wasn't such a deep fan,
You won't
I would
get.
have a hard time. I would have a hard time with this because this isn't the dialogue isn't very accurate in terms of what the actual story is, but it's okay because it's the dub that we all grew up with, and it's a good dub, and it got us into Fist of the North
Interesting.
Star.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for this dub, I wouldn't have any experience with Fist of the North Star.
Steel. He changed his body into steel. Man, that's that's awesome. I remember the difference between the Japanese dub and the English dub of Street Fighter 2, the movie, and it's
Oh yeah,
they mix up
yeah. Big
Vega
difference.
and Bison, which is
That's a big difference.
yeah, in the Japanese version, Bison is Vega.
I like to watch that movie. I like to watch it English dubbed, but I like to watch it
Mhm.
with the Japanese soundtrack. So you can watch it with the Japanese soundtrack or the English soundtrack, but you can watch it dubbed or subtitled. And I'll watch it
Mhm.
dubbed, and then it'll have the Japanese soundtrack, because I think the Japanese soundtrack is a lot more appropriate for it than what we got with the English soundtrack.
The English soundtrack
The
was pure grunge.
the music. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pure
yeah.
grunge. The Japanese was. I think I did a watch along for that. I did the Japanese dub in one of my early watch alongs.
Yeah, it's good though. But that's what I mean. I'll watch it. I'll still watch it in English, but I just like to
Mhm.
have the English. I just like to have the Japanese soundtrack on while it's in English. And I love that the Blu-ray gives you that option to watch it. To watch it with the different soundtracks, because it makes a difference when you're enjoying the movie, because it has a different feel to it.
Mhm, yeah. Oof, freak.
Yeah, this is so goofy. Look at the things that are happening. Like, this is considered offensive. I mean, if anything, this is ridiculous. So for me, I would have been, as a kid, I would have been sitting in the theater just giggling like you wouldn't believe, laughing throughout the whole thing because it's so ridiculous. Wasn't
The
until
only
as I got older and got into it
Mhm.
and actually got into the lore of what it actually is, that I started to understand and appreciate it even more. But like, as a kid though, as like an 8-year-old watching it, I thought it was the greatest thing I'd ever seen. I was like, wow.
The only anime movie I watched Japanese but dubbed in English was Voltes 5, the last 4 episodes, because
Okay.
that's the episodes that was banned here in the Philippines for such a long time. And
Why?
when it's all about
Why were they banned?
president,
I don't.
it's supposed to be violent and teaches the kids to rebel.
Oh.
But
Oh.
that was under the first President Marcos. And now we have a new President Marcos, and the Filipinos really forgot their sense of history. So in the live movie, Shin is the main villain, right? And
Right. None of the other are none of the other ones are even mentioned. I don't even
mhm,
think
yeah,
Rao gets a mention. There's no
no,
Toki. There's no. I don't even. There's no Ray. They cut all that out.
yeah, they shortened the story
They made
somehow,
it just between.
thinking,
They just made it between. Made it very intimate. Made it very cheap, and centered it around Ken
yeah,
and Shin
Ken and Shin.
and Julia, because I think they call her Julia in that too, even though she's
Mhm,
played by a Japanese actress. They
Yeah.
they Americanized her voice and made her Julia. I just thought that was ridiculous. I was like, well, if you're going to cast a Japanese actress, then you might as well just call her Yuria like you're supposed to because she's Japanese. I mean, that's who she is. So why would you give her the Julia name from the obscure English dub of the movie when you could just make her Yuria that everybody knows all around the world? I mean, I don't know. I
Man.
struggled with it. I struggled with that live action movie, especially being such a big fan of Fist of the North Star.
Yeah. I understand your frustration, my friend.
I mean, as a fan, I just wanted that live action movie to be better because because there hasn't been another one since. So it's sort of like, but I mean, it is classic in the fact
And
that it's
Gary
so
Daniels
cheesy.
plays
Yeah.
villains nowadays.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Gary Daniels. But see, Gary Daniels, that's the thing. Ironically, Gary Daniels is a huge Fist of the North Star fan. I think he named his son Kenshiro. So
Oh, that's that's cool.
so I mean I don't so I don't know why he didn't protest a lot of that and say, listen, there's more you're gonna have to do here because this is not how the story goes. I mean, it's just, and the music in this is fantastic too, by the way. The score for this film,
Yeah,
it's wonderful. Like
wonderful,
this whole
man.
scene here where he's about
Walking in
to,
the desert.
oh my god, yeah. And
Wow.
he sure, and it's like he's always walking at like he's always pacing himself. He's never in a hurry, and yet he always gets where he needs to get. But here it is, like, you know, yeah, the music. I love it. I love the soundtrack. It's so good, so well done.
I remember all this this with this music. Some spaghetti western, very similar.
Yeah, it has that quality to it. Yeah.
Shin and Ken meets at last.
The final confrontation.
Man, 1 inch punch.
It's literally impossible.
Yeah,
None of this. I mean, it's just
over the top, man. Over the top.
the producers
There, there are
should have said it
some.
was a comedy, and they would have left it alone.
There are some things that are really unfilmable, and but I think Ganosho doesn't believe in that shit. Flop incoming. Rao the Conqueror. Damn, that's
That's a hell of a death.
hell of a death, man. I think the live version has a more longer fight scene with these two.
Well, it has to because it's only because that movie only relies on the conflict between those two characters. This movie at least tries to give you a little bit of Rao and Ken, which they don't even. Which that's the thing. It's a condensed version of the first fight between Ken and Rao. It's not even really the first. Like, if you really want to see the first fight between Ken and Rao, you should watch
The
the revivals.
series,
It's in
other
there.
revival.
They cover it. They
Yeah.
cover it. Yeah, they cover it, and it's really well done. And they cover a lot. And it's a lot of stuff that they cover, but a lot more than what we get here. Honestly, this movie is a masterpiece. It really is. And
Yeah.
and I just grew to love it even more when I found out the history behind it, about how it got how parents were outraged and they pulled it from theaters. And
Yeah.
I kind of model my the One Punch Man movie Cyborgs. I kind of
Hmm.
modeled them after the way Rao's Rao's guards are, like, around him and are marching, and they're all so just so militantly powerful, and you can always hear them as they're coming. You can always hear them. That's why in every One Punch Man trailer that I put out, you can all, before, when it says coming soon, out at the beginning of all the trailers, you can always hear the sounds of the cyborgs. You can always hear them walking. You can hear them coming, marching. They're marching towards the heroes. See?
Okay. They saw
See
the kid
see the way that
Julia.
they're marching. They're just you hear them coming because they're just
Yeah.
thunderous invaders.
So our timestamp is 1 hour 21 minutes and 35 seconds.
Yes.
The live version is so focused on the flower.
Right. Like he took everything, he took as much as he could from this and just
Mhm.
applied it to the whole
To the
Ken
whole
and Shin
movie.
dynamic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He forgot that there's an actual character more powerful than
Right.
Shin.
I'm actually kind of surprised that he didn't just kill off Shin early in the movie and focus on him and
Wow.
Rao, Ken and Rao.
Yeah.
That would have been more interesting because it would have been more in line with at least the overall arcing story. But in a way, I could see why they did that because they wanted to save money. Plus they spent like half the budget on the Malcolm McDowell cameo at the beginning, so they had to, you know.
Yeah. It's all a
I don't
budget
know why the
thing.
hell they got why the hell they got Malcolm McDowell for that role. I don't know. For Ryakin, made no sense.
And also, that's one of the faults of casting producers over American movies.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was originally that movie was originally produced for HBO. So
I see.
at the time it was it was like a cable TV thing, you
Yeah,
know.
HBO was on cable back then. Man, they crucified Julia.
There's a Vampire Hunter D cameo. There he is.
Yeah, that's another a very cool movie they could make into a live version. Vampire Hunter D.
Yeah, I always wanted to see them turn Vampire Hunter D into a live action as well. I think it would be great. Um,
And technically, it's easy to do.
oh yeah, it could totally be done. Yeah, absolutely. In comparison to this, it would be a lot easier to do.
Yeah. Ah, man.
Yeah, we're getting down to the climax of the movie now. We're about to hit Heart of Madness.
Sin Havoc says it's easier than Blade.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Blade. Another Blade will never get made.
Yeah, there's
This
only
is.
one Blade. One of maybe we could do a vampire movie or something.
Well, I
Animated.
wouldn't mind doing Vampire Hunter D, the 1985 Vampire Hunter D. I
Yeah,
prefer
the
the 85 Vampire Hunter D to the
Bloodlust.
Bloodlust to the 2000 one. I think that the 85 one is much better. But also, it's from the same company that put out Fist of the North Star, and it was just done, and it was just done like a year before. Vampire Hunter D came out in 85. Fist of the North Star came out in 86.
86.
And it's also directed by the same director, Toyo Ishida.
Mm.
So if you want to do a watch party for that movie, definitely. It's another one in my top 5. It's definitely a classic.
And it featured the actual king of vampires, Dracula. Excuse me. Which is cool. Damn, no reason to dismount. The Japanese really developed their craft in anime because in the live versions, in the live movies, they can't hide their eyes, and
I think the Japanese. I think a really good Japanese director could do a live action Fist of the North Star. They could make it work. They could do it.
yeah,
But it would have to be them. It would have to be them or me, one or the other, because I mean it's they don't. My thing is this move they can do it, but it's you. The problem is with Fist of the North Star. Fist of the North Star is or Hokuto no Ken is so popular in Japan and all over the world that if you screw it up, you're not going to get another shot. Okay, so you got to make sure you do it right. And they saw what the Americans did with their movie version of Fist of the North Star, and they saw how badly that failed. So I don't think the Japanese are eager to take one of their most popular anime franchises and butcher it into a movie unless they know that they can do it justice. It's like,
I think
it's kind of like, it's like the equivalent of making a Superman movie here, and you see what's happening with Superman.
We see what's happening with Superman.
It'd be the same thing. I kind of look at it like that. Like Fist of the North Star would be like their Superman. Like if it wasn't done right, it's game over.
Warner Bros has been putting their
and then it's ironic that it's Warner Brothers, right? It's ironic that it's Warner Brothers Japan that owns it now. So there's that. I don't know. I just can't make this stuff up. It's crazy. I wouldn't want Warner Brothers anywhere near Fist of the North Star. You gotta be kidding me.
Man, now he runs.
Well, usually he can just walk. You know, every step for him is like 20 steps. So he just.
Damn. Crap.
I just realized I could have saved myself a lot of time and effort on One Punch Dan if I'd have just made it an audio drama. by making it a movie, it's like, oh my goodness. Yeah, this is I mean,
audio drama, much like Rebel Moon.
This is far different. This is far different here than the way Rey dies in the manga and in the anime series. It's far different here. In the anime and in the manga, Rao does that to Rey, but it doesn't kill him right away. He has like 3 days where he gets to live, but he lives in agony, and his body is slowly falling apart. He's like, it's brutal. Like, in a way, it's kind of better how he dies here, because at least there's quicker mercy. And he doesn't have to suffer. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sinavok said Mad Max and Sleeping Dog video game are awesome. And
oh yeah.
One Punch Man on Kindle and Audible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it would be. Like, it would have been a lot easier to just do One Punch Man like that than doing it the way I'm doing it, because the way I'm doing it, it's a lot. But it's going to be worth it in the end, though. It's going to come out fantastic. So. Rao the Conqueror! Here it comes. How he like just growls that out. Rao the Conqueror! Oh my god. I love their auras. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's blue and red.
Rebel Moon. Star Wars, Moon. Those.
Well, I think,
and I also think Zack Snyder could do a good Fist of the North Star movie. If Zack Snyder wanted to do Fist of the North Star, he could do it justice. I think he could. I think it would be incredible, to be honest with you.
He just needs that would be a producer who will take the chance.
I would like, you know what? Yeah, well, yeah, do it for Netflix.
Yeah. Final conflict.
This is so good. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than this fight. They set it up so cinematically, and then they chintz out on us because there's only a few more minutes left in the film, so it's kind of like you're, it's like, what are we doing here? Shortcut.
Timestamp is 1 hour, like 35 minutes, and
it's
48
it's the
seconds.
Abridged version.
Yeah, but it's kind of long since it's 1 hour, more than almost 2 hours of pure anime movie.
Yeah, it's such a great movie, and it's handled so well. And like I said, it's a way of getting people. It was a way of getting people who may have missed watching it on, TV, because it was on TV, and this was kind of like almost like a recap, reimagining, so to speak, to hype people up for the next season of Fist of the North Star on TV. That's what it was supposed to do, but but all it did was get backlash from angry parents who were offended by the violence back in 1986.
1986.
So it'd be interesting to see what kind of. I mean, I'd actually love for them to unearth that uncut print of this movie and then put it in theaters worldwide. I'd be interested to see. I mean, I think it would do pretty well. I'd go see it a bunch of times.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I'd practically live at the theater if this was at the movies.
During the 80s up to a certain points of the 2000s, we watch the movies in the movie houses with an unlimited watch. That's how we fall asleep every time we watch the movies. Unlike these days where it's only one screening per movie. I'd rather have a giant screen Netflix. Netflix is really a cool company for giving us some awesome movies. Man, slow motion. People would complain that this is the Snyder cut.
Yeah, pretty much.
This would be an awesome reading. The manga will is really cool, showing the blood. Man,
Yeah, the manga is the greatest. To me, the manga is the greatest thing on earth. Literary, it's like just the greatest because it's so good. The artwork is just fantastic. The story, there's nothing better. It's just so good. Like I I don't. Yeah, I mean, wow.
shit, man. This battle seems to be taking its
It's
toll on both
so
fighters.
much blood.
Yeah.
This is why parents were pissed.
Yeah, I see some of the influence Frank Miller copied from the artwork here.
Yeah. I love the aura around her. Like, because she's so special, like almost like she's the chosen one, like she has a big role to play later on in the mythology of the story when she gets older. Because that's the other thing, she doesn't stay a baby forever.
Yeah. Damn.
See, all this is bullshit because this isn't what happens. There's no, there's none of that. Like, there's no, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to Raikin's grave and listen. They, that's why I say I'm kind of like when I watch, I have to consider the English version its own thing because it's just like.
Yeah.
It takes so many liberties to make its own one self-contained story, but it's still great regardless. It's still fantastic.
So
Wow.
Rao still considers Ken as his brother. So hence, just walking away. Weird. My audio became Japanese all of a sudden. It's so weird.
Oh, you're watching it with the Japanese theatrical ending. That it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was never dubbed in English with the Japanese theatrical ending. That's why you're getting. That's why you're getting
I
that
see.
because it's a different. It's a different ending.
And we see Ken walking again.
Yeah, now it's all about the journey. He's going to try to find Yuria or Julia, however you want to pronounce her name. He's trying to find her. And I mean, I could just imagine walking through the desert trying to find this chick.
Yeah.
Good luck.
It's weird how Yuria disappeared again after being found.
She disappeared. Where the hell did she go after she was crucified? That was the last time we saw her. She was taped up on that cross, and then we never saw her again. What happened?
She was with the kids.
The only way you find out what happened to her is if you read the manga, and you watch the animated anime series, and you'll find out.
Nice.
Because you do find out that she has a much bigger destiny than just getting lost in the desert. There's a lot to her character, a lot. She's very important to the story. But this is, but this was a good start. This is a good way to get you interested in the mythology. If you didn't know nothing about it, this would get people started. That's what happened to me.
Yeah.
It turned me into a lifelong fan after seeing it as an 8-year-old. So I understand. Like,
this is cool, man. It's the art, the motions, the fight scenes, the story. Not your typical teenage Japanese anime.
no, not at all.
Not at all. This is cool. So I am in the part where the credits are rolling.
Yeah, me too. So we're good. He's trying to find her, and then at the end of the credits, he thinks he's found her, and then she disappears again. She just like evaporates into thin air.
It's like an apparition
Because he
or
didn't.
something.
because he didn't find her. It's just an apparition. He's out there in the desert.
And this is so cool. So uh, I hope the guys find this movie enjoyable like we do. And how do you rate this film, Zod?
Well, given that the movie made me a lifelong fan at 8 years old, it's one of those rare movies where I got to give it a 10 out of 10 because
Nice.
everything it did everything right for me in terms of impressionableness when I was a child to make me care about the franchise as a grown man to the point where I continue to collect stuff related to it, physical media, everything related to it even now because it's still important to me to this day. So yeah, I have to give it a 10 out of 10. I absolutely love it.
Very nice.
Whether it's English or Japanese, it doesn't matter which version you watch. It's fantastic either way. Watch the Japanese version with English subtitles if you want the full explanation of the lore and you want to really know what's going on and you want the full context. And just watch the English dub if you're just casually interested and you just want to see what all the fuss is about. But it's definitely great. I love it so much. That's why I was super excited when you said you wanted to watch this because for me this movie it doesn't they just don't make movies like this anymore in the way that where you can just kind of pick it up and have it resonate and make like that animation on this level. And again, so over the top violent, and I'm holding out hope for the 50th anniversary. Toei Animation is going to somehow unearth that uncut print at some point. I'm just so hoping that we'll get to see that because that would be wonderful. But it's good stuff.
So Sin Havoc rates the movie as a 10 over 10, and somehow I rate this movie also as a 10. It's one of those movies I really enjoy, and since I love anime and I love discussing anime, well, Fist of the North Star uh, is just that. So, what's your next project, Zod? Aside
Well,
from Punch Done.
for me, it's all One Punch Dan from here on out until I get that movie done. Once that movie is done, then I'll start focusing on other projects. But for now, I'm fully committed to trying to get that done and making sure that you guys have the best possible movie from me you can possibly get. So that's what I'm focused on right now.
Yeah. And my next watch along will be on Friday morning. That's Thursday night in the US with what is it? Voltron season 3, the last 3 episodes of that season. And thank you, Zod Writer, for indulging me.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with you, to hang out with you, and to talk about this. This is. I agree, Sid and Havoc. That would be fantastic.
The raid crew would maybe do a Fist of the North Star project. That's gonna be something to look forward to.
That would be amazing. I'd love to. I'd love to see that. But yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me. This was fun. It's all again. Any time I get a chance to come on and talk and hang out with a friend and watch Fist of the North Star, I'm down.
Yeah.
And yeah, hey, if you want to do any other, any other Fist of the North Star stuff, yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
man. I mean,
Definitely,
I'd
man.
even do a regular watch along with you if you wanted to do the anime. But that would take forever because it's 152 episodes. We'd be doing it for years.
We've been doing it 2 years. So Brogu
We
is
would be
kind of
doing it
late.
for years. It would be almost like, "What's up, Brogu?" We would be doing it for years. We would literally, we would start this. It'd be 2029 by the time we got it finished. But no, it's maybe
Yeah.
if they finally start releasing the new one, maybe we could
Yeah,
cover the new
maybe.
one together when that comes out. But it's kind of like, if we started the anime, yeah, we would be here for
We'll,
a
we'll be
long
here.
time.
Man, I wish immortality is
Well,
a
you would
gift
need
for us.
something like that. You'd need to, like, it would be, you could do it, but it would just take forever. It would be an ongoing thing. It would be like a show. You have like,
Yeah. Anyway, and so since we're finished, thank you, Zod, and do
Thank you.
like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Also, like and share and subscribe to Zod Writer's channel. And yeah, Mikey.
Thanks for watching it with us, Sin Havoc. That was awesome. Mikey Verse forever.
Yeah, that's it.